For most Americans, David Letterman was the king of late-night comedy, but behind the monologue desk, the talk show host spent years navigating a private nightmare, one woman's unstoppable descent into delusion, obsession, and ultimately tragedy. His stalker wasn't merely a tabloid curiosity, she was a mother, a daughter, and the third sibling in a family ravaged by severe mental illness. Underwear, alcohol, syphilis, murder, forbidden.
So yeah, it has been a while since I've seen you. It's kind of weird.
Yeah, and I applied zero effort in getting ready this evening. I am wearing my ratty old robe. I didn't do my hair, and I feel like a mess.
Well, I've made up for it in my. It looks very Missoni to me. It's like a bralette, but it's actually Hugo Boss.
I saw that when you stood up. I saw the little thing. Yeah, it's like Masoni and Pucci. Like if they
Yeah, if they married, if
Mhm.
they did a collab.
They married and they gave birth to Hugo Boss, apparently.
Yes, apparently. I work like a block away from one of those places where they always have those 260 sample sales.
Hmm.
And they used to have them in New York, and they were, like, absolutely impossible to get into in New York, particularly, like, on a VIP level, like, before it was, like, totally shopped over. Well, now this like, I feel like we don't get as good of sample sales as New York gets, but, like, there are some pretty decent ones that have come through there that, like, for brands that I appreciate, you know? And
Yeah.
so I've been shopping there way too much actually these past few weeks.
Well,
They've
you've been
had
busy. I'm sure
yeah.
you need it. You need that.
Well, it's almost like, when we worked on 52nd and 5th up in like the Midtown area, there was so much shopping around there. Like you could just go browse at lunch
Hmm.
or drink, which is really what we did.
I don't know what you're talking about, Amanda. I never drank on the job.
Oh gosh. Speaking of drinking, what are you having this evening?
Shockingly, Amanda, I'm having a glass of red wine.
That is shocking.
Yes. And yourself? What
Oh,
I just described.
shockingly, of course, it's another THC drink.
Hmm.
It's blood orange mango. Very
Oh,
delicious, actually.
sounds tasty.
Yeah, it's actually really good. I knew that there was a David Letterman stalker. I know nothing about the story though, so I'm
Okay.
very excited to hear this.
I was gonna ask you if you remember this, and it was same with me. Like vaguely recalled like the headlines,
Hmm.
but I didn't know anything about it. So I've got it for you this evening.
Oh, well, I will go ahead and welcome everyone to Forbidden, the podcast where we discuss the dark, disgusting, and the disgraceful in our unmentionables. That's right, we've slipped into something a bit more comfortable. Have a drink in hand. Hope you are doing the same. Welcome. My name's Amanda Kamada.
And I'm Blake Roberts.
Obsession has a pattern. It starts with a glance, a message, a fantasy, and spirals into something far more dangerous. Stalkers have targeted celebrities, coworkers, strangers, and even entire families. Some are driven by untreated mental illness, others by rage, entitlement, or a need for power. But all of them leave the same trail: fear, confusion, and a chilling sense that someone is always watching. Scary.
Spooky.
I always feel like somebody's watching me.
Well, before I get into the story and before I get to my sources, I wanted to do a quick overview. There are six classifications of stalkers.
Mhm.
I thought it would be fun to run through these very quickly.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, number one is the rejected stalker. This is the most common category, and behavior patterns include, well, they're motivated basically by the breakdown of a relationship, a romantic partner, family member, friend. and they will oscillate between like attempted reconciliation or basically revenge behavior.
Mhm.
Number two is the resentful stalker, the one that I most relate to. Just kidding. This one is driven by perceived injustice or humiliation. Again, relatable. So they claim to be seeking justice, revenge, or recognition of a wrong, and they'll target, like frequently, they'll target coworkers, neighbors, acquaintances, or like full-on institutions.
Mhm.
Third is the predatory stalker, and this is the most dangerous, obviously, as the name would imply. Behavior patterns include stalking as a precursor to sexual assault or planned violence,
Mhm.
and they gain pleasure, control, or sexual arousal from fear inflicted on the victim. It's just creepy,
That is so creepy. Oh.
sexy. Kidding. Four is the incompetent suitor stalker.
Oh.
So socially awkward or intellectually limited individuals. Behavior patterns include basically like a misread on social cues, um, and persistence despite rejection. So they often believe that persistence is romantic.
Mhm.
Usually brief, clumsy attempts at courtship, leading to like full blown stalker.
Right.
Fifth is the cyber stalker. This one's obviously more recent because, technology.
Technology, and it's I think didn't didn't you do something on cyber stalking kind of back
I
in the day?
I did. There's an episode out there, and I can't tell you which one off the top of my head.
Yeah, but it was by phone.
It was, yeah, it was a cyber
Cyber
stalker.
stalking by phone. Yeah. Yeah.
That might
We'll
have
have
been,
to look that up.
it's probably like a year ago,
Yeah.
or maybe a little bit less than.
I'll look it up and we'll cover it during this series.
Yeah, I mean, I can do a little reboot.
Mhm.
So behavior patterns for cyberstalker include uses of digital channels, obviously DMs, hacking, online harassment, and doxing, and they will escalate more quickly due to the anonymity and the ease of access
Mm.
to the victim.
Right.
And then finally, number six, this is one I will be focusing on this evening, is the intimacy seeking stalker. So this is most closely associated with serious mental illness, with behavior patterns that include the belief that they have a relationship with the victim, even if they've never met before. They misinterpret casual or non existent gestures as romantic signals, and they often target celebrities, public figures, or professionals like therapists or the clergy, like people that are often associated with like a role that's intended to help you.
Right.
So, my sources for this evening are as follows: a CBS News article from 1998, an article from mentalillnesspolicy.org, an ABC News article from 2005, New York Times article from 1998, and a newspaper article from 1998 from the Southeast Missourian.
Mm.
Mary Margaret Ray's fixation began quietly. In 1988, after attending a taping of Late Night with David Letterman, the 35-year-old mother became convinced she was married to the comedian. Not long after, she slipped into Letterman's Connecticut home, took the keys to his $80,000 Porsche, and drove off with her 4-year-old son beside her. When police stopped at when police stopped her at the Lincoln Tunnel toll booth, unable to pay $3, she offered a simple explanation. Quote, "I'm Mrs. David Letterman, and this is our son." It was the first. Yeah, I can see
What?
her. Yeah.
Wow.
It was the first of many break-ins. Over the next 4 years, Margaret returned to Letterman's property repeatedly. She slept near his tennis courts. She left him cookies, a meditation book, even an empty whiskey bottle. Sometimes she lingered in the foyer. Other times she simply wandered the grounds. Her behavior was bizarre, but it wasn't malicious, and it wasn't new. Her family knew something was wrong long before Letterman ever did. So Margaret grew up in Grayslake, Illinois, remembered by neighbors as a beautiful all-American girl, but that facade masked a deep family crisis. Schizophrenia had already consumed two of her brothers. Both
Wow.
died by suicide in their early 20s. Her father suffered from the same illness, and the delusions that would one day fixate on Letterman were already taking shape. So it's a family affair, basically.
Hmm.
Unfortunately, I should say. The disease would strike Margaret. She was diagnosed with schizophrenia and schizoaffective disorder. She resisted treatment, often abandoning medication because the side effects were unbearable or because the delusions made her feel special, purposeful, and chosen. She married in 1973 and had four children, but was divorced after a decade. She had another child in the mid 80s, and I couldn't find much on that relationship and how that came about. But basically, her deteriorating mental state led to the loss of custody of all five of her children. The first
Wow.
four went to the husband, and the fifth one went to her mother. Still, as her life unraveled, one identity remained fixed. She believed she was David Letterman's wife.
After all of this.
Yes. Well, so she married in 73. She divorced in, I believe, 83,
Hmm.
lost custody of those four children, had another child probably around 83, 84. And then in 88 is when she went to that taping, and that's where she believed she was his wife.
Right.
So for Letterman, Margaret became an unsettling constant. He tried, in his words, quote, everything to discourage her, end quote. But her illness overpowered every attempt at reason. He recognized a pattern in her letters. When medicated, they were lucid and almost ordinary. Off medication, they sounded like messages, quote, from your aunt on Neptune, end quote.
Wow.
Throughout, he largely refused to press charges. Compassion guided him more than fear, though one encounter did rattle him. One night, he and his girlfriend looked up from bed to see Margaret standing silently in the hallway.
Nope. Oh my God.
Yeah,
No.
really unsettling.
Yeah.
She fled immediately the moment they saw her. She took off. That incident aside, Letterman often used humor to cope, referencing her obliquely in monologues. So, in other words, he would talk about this publicly on his show, but he never mentioned her by name. And I feel like some people would sort of um, look down on him for that. But again, he didn't
Right.
mention her by name. And also, this is like a personal thing he's going through for 4 years.
It's a long time.
That's a long time. And I mean,
And to
that
have to hide it that something like that is going on.
right. And honestly, it's being reported on outside of him. Like
Mhm.
the police are picking up on it. The news outlets are picking up on it. So of course he's going to talk about it.
Right.
Um, after years of arrests and psychiatric evaluations, serving time alternately in prison and mental institutions, and even like short stints just in jail, Margaret shifted her obsession to an astronaut, Story Musgrave, who had repaired the Hubble Space Telescope on a spacewalk. So essentially, she heard about it in the news and had this like new fascination.
Wow.
Yeah. So she moved on from Letterman. Margaret called Musgrave, wrote him, sent packages, even faked her way into the Johnson Space Center in Houston and interviewed him by posing as a journalist. She
Oh my God. This is so fucked up.
yeah, but very creative.
Very. I mean, what an actor.
Yeah. So she once turned on all the outdoor faucets at his Florida home, and to an investigator, she declared, I love him and I want to spend the rest of my life with him. Her illness was consuming her again. She spent some time in jail and told a fellow inmate that she had hoped to find a way to do something that would make her children just a little proud. So she's like slips in and out, like with medication, basically of her own like self awareness. Margaret's daughter, Annalisa Johansson, spent years living under the shadow of her mother's notoriety. She was bright, straight A's, later a law and public health student, but terrified that the same illness would claim her. When she was 7, strangers would stare at them in public, quote, with this mix of pity and fear, she recalled. As a teenager, she kept a photo of her mother at her dorm front desk so staff could alert police if Margaret appeared. So she loves her mother, but she's also afraid of her mother.
Right.
But she said she hated the woman who broke in. She loved her mother, but she hated the woman who broke into David Letterman's house. Annalisa would later dedicate her career to mental health advocacy, convinced that the system failed her family. By the late 1990s, Margaret was living quietly in Crawford, Colorado. Locals said she caused no trouble, but inside her delusions and despair persisted. And on October 5th, 1998, she walked to a railroad track in a valley she loved, knelt down, and leaned forward. A 105-car coal train killed her instantly.
Oh my God.
And before her death, she mailed a letter to her mother, but it arrived too late. She wrote, I'm all traveled out. I chose a painless and instantaneous way to end my life in the valley I loved. She left behind only a phone number for authorities to notify her family, and she was just 46 years old.
46. Wow.
So, Mary Margaret Ray's story was sensationalized for a decade, reduced to punchlines and tabloid copy, which is how I remember it.
Right.
This was a woman undone not by celebrity obsession, but by an inherited, relentless, and untreated illness. Her family members, one by one, were claimed by schizophrenia. Her daughter now teaches others what she wishes she had known earlier: how to navigate commitment laws, how to intervene before crisis turns irreversible. And here's 3 quotes, which I'll end with. Letterman, for his part, expressed compassion even after all the intrusions, and he said, she was sick, and you don't want to do anything to make it worse than it is. Astronaut Story Musgrave expressed sympathy upon her death, stating, quote, I almost felt like I lost a relative. I felt bad because it's a terrible outcome. I always thought she was a creative genius. It's sort of interesting. I kind of
Wow.
want to know more about his thoughts. This is just an interesting quote. And then I'll end it with this. There's a quote from Crawford, Colorado local named Liz Lillian, who said, everybody knew Margaret. They knew she was different, but she had friends from the postmaster to the guy who ran the airport. The world knows what the illness can do to people, but that's not all she was. She was a huge part of life itself. She gave my life richness. Lovable, unbelievably lovable. And that is the story of Margaret Mary Ray.
What a sad story.
I know. It sort of took a turn. I mean, obviously I was drawn to it because of the headlines.
Yeah. I never knew what that was all about. I remember here I don't know if I was too young at the time, maybe, or just wasn't into Letterman enough to like really dig in and understand or care
Right.
what was happening. But I do recall hearing about Letterman's like not stalker or whatever, but kind of, yeah. Um, and I had absolutely no idea what it was about. And it's like so sad how she ended her life too. Like,
Yeah.
and she was very lucid about ending her life. Like it was very, she was very emphatic about doing it. I don't think it was like a game time decision. I think it was thoughtfully planned out.
Yeah, I mean, she mailed the letter to her mom, so
Yeah.
and she had just before that, she had been in I believe she'd been in an institution in Florida, maybe
Mhm.
prison, but I think it was an institution. Either way, she was released. I believe she was back on medication for a little bit and made her way back to Colorado. And she had spoken with acquaintances, and someone had organized basically like a house sitting for her, so she had a place to stay. But when she got there, that gig basically fell through, so she didn't have a place. So for that last month, I'm not sure exactly what happened to her, where she was living,
Right.
but it sounded unstable, and I'm sure that, you know, sort of impacted or like advanced her decision
Mhm.
in her life more quickly.
Yeah. Well, it was very thoughtfully done,
Yeah.
although very grotesque.
Yeah. Yeah, I was drawn to it because of the headlines. And frankly, like I spent a great deal of time looking for a story that I wanted to do. And I would find stories that were interesting to me, but I either couldn't find enough information, or there was one story that I was interested in, but it's actually happening right now. Like I think the trial for it is beginning December 8th. So
Oh,
there's just not enough information. So I can, you know, I'll talk about that in the future probably,
yeah.
but yeah, so I came across this one and it's like, oh, it's sort of sort of a grabbing story.
It was grabbing, and it wasn't what I expected it to be at all.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean?
I
Like,
do because I think I felt the same way when I started it.
yeah. Is it like thunderstorming there or
Yeah, how
lightning?
appropriate. There's a thunderstorm happening behind me right now.
Okay. I felt like I started like seeing flickering lights, and I'm like,
No,
I
you're having a
know,
stroke actually.
yeah, that or I took too much Axe. I don't know. Excuse me,
What
Molly
again?
kids. Oh, well, I mean, yeah, that's a really sad story. It was not going the way that I thought like it was going to be. I thought it was going to be like she ended up in prison or, something like that.
Yeah.
Um,
I wanted to make everyone feel really sad.
yeah, well, you did a great job of that.
Thank you.
Have
And
you
also you're welcome.
have you thought of any or seen any current events lately that you want to talk about?
Lots of political things, but I don't know if I want to talk about those.
Oh, I don't want to talk about those, but I am so excited about seeing the Epstein files.
Oh, I am too. I'm just more curious than anything.
Yeah. I
Who all's on that
actually
guest list?
yeah, I think there's gonna be quite a few people on that guest list that, would rather be unmentioned.
Yeah.
Um, Pretty much everybody on the
Yes.
list. Um, what was I gonna say? I actually got, I don't know how to say her name, Virginia Giuffre or Giuffre, the gal who committed suicide,
Mhm.
who basically put Jeffrey Epstein away. It was like her coming forward. That she just wrote a book, or she wrote a book before she committed suicide, a biography, and it just came out.
Oh,
And I'm literally just got it in the mail yesterday. So I'm about to read it, but I've read nothing but good reviews about it. And it said that like every person should read it. And it's
I want
very
to read that.
difficult read. Yeah.
Difficult,
So
I'm sure.
yeah.
I tangent, but I'm reading a book right now. Um and it's the Tim Curry autobiography.
Mm,
I love Tim Curry.
yeah.
It's probably, you know what, maybe read both. You can read a chapter of um, Virginia's book and then end with a palate cleanser, like
Yes.
a chapter of Tim Curry.
Yes. I'm going a little dark.
Hmm.
But I just feel like I need to inform myself about like everything that happened with her.
Yeah, I would like to know too.
I mean, since we've last taped, Prince Andrew is no longer a prince.
Hmm.
um, I mean, that was fallout from all of this, and I wonder how he's transitioning.
Right. Hopefully not well.
Oh, well, I mean, what's so ludicrous about it though is it's not like he's like being thrown out onto the street
Right.
somewhere.
Yeah, I feel like they, if I remember, and I could be wrong, I think they like set him up with an apartment or something.
Yeah,
So he's
like,
not like,
he's fine.
yeah,
Like he's cool.
yeah,
He's
he's
just
not homeless.
he's just not going to be a prince anymore.
Right.
Sorry, because he like is a pedophile, basically.
Yes, correct. I love that
um,
at least they're taking action over there and
yeah,
not
no
the pond.
shit. Exactly, exactly.
Um,
I could get into what a joke we all are right now, but I'm not going to go that route.
yeah.
Um, did you see that that there was a girl that was found dead on a Carnival cruise ship, stuffed
I
under a bed?
Yeah, you sent that to me. Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't read
Well,
it though.
guess what? Her stepbrother is a suspect.
Oh,
And yeah, and this is like he's turned into a suspect somehow. I don't know. I This is breaking news, like literally breaking news right now. It says trouble at home, slain teenage cruise passenger stepbrother 16 is suspect in her killing as his dad is accused of abusing him. um Apparently it's alleged that he may have killed her and like stuffed her underneath the bed. It's
well,
just terrifying.
yeah. Oh, God.
I'm just glad it wasn't like a cruise ship worker who did it. Because then, like, people would go on a rant about that. You know what I mean? Like, not that it should have happened to begin with.
Right.
It's not good that anyone did it, but like, I don't know. I feel like, I mean, we've done stories on cruises. Cruises can be a little shady.
Yeah, very recently, in fact.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. It looks
Uh,
so spooky behind you with
I
the
know.
flashing lights.
Flashing lights.
Mhm.
God, it's been like 3 weeks since we've talked.
I know.
I kept having to push back because, well, A, I couldn't land on a story I liked, or
Right.
I just couldn't find enough information on. So it just took me longer to put my story together. And and then just lots of travel. Like my weekends have been shot. So
Just been jet setting all over the place.
all over the place.
Very important person.
VIP on me. That's what it feels like. I'm ready for a break.
Where have you been?
I went
I know
to
you went to New York because I saw pictures of you and that bitch Holly.
that bitch Holly. Yeah, I went to New York for the James Beard Gala. They the company I work for, Colossal, was honored that evening. So our CEO got up and spoke, and I got to wear a tuxedo, which is always fun for me.
Yes.
Um, and then I went to LA last weekend. I had dinner with a celebrities agent, which I'll tell you more about that offline. But I had dinner with him. We work on fundraising together. So it was Friday night, and I ended up I took Josh with me, and we had planned on taking Tilda with us. But if you're new, she's my dog. But that big storm came through, um, and it was essentially just going to be a wet weekend in LA, which sucked because we'd basically planned a
Oh,
trip.
that's right. It did just get like hammered with rain, didn't it?
Yeah. So of course, we planned on taking the dog. I'd booked a pet friendly hotel, but then we just realized there's nothing we can do because you can't take the dog inside places, and it's going to be raining, so we would just be trapped in our room more or less.
Yeah.
So, friend of the pod, Megan, offered to watch her. So it was nice. So we drove out there. I had my dinner Friday night, and then we spent the rest of the weekend just sort of bumming around the Pasadena area. And And it was rainy, but it wasn't like torrential. You know
Right.
what I mean? It was,
Yeah.
and there were like breaks here and there, so the weather was nice. Like, I mean, it was like the temperature was nice, and we had some good food, and we did like a couple of historic home tours, like that sort of thing, you know. But it was fun. But and
Nice.
now I'm back until next week, basically.
Yes, and then you leave again.
And you've also been slammed with work, yeah?
Yes. E-commerce during the holidays is not the place to be.
No, that's not it.
It's not the jam.
Mm-mm.
It is sucking the life out of me.
No one wants to be sucked that way.
No, no. And that's been sucking the life out of me. And just, I was sick actually for like 2 weeks with a cold, like that I
Oh,
could not get over, you know, like,
gross.
yeah. I don't know. Like, I think you were sick at some point too. I don't know what you had, but
Yeah, I almost forgot about that. Yeah, I was also sick. I was out of commission. I had a fever, but it was pretty quick. It was like a viral thing,
yeah.
but it was
Mine,
pretty
it was initially really quick, but then it like just like hung over, like I'm just finally not like ears popping or,
yeah,
like nose running like smoothly, not taking a fucking like Zyrtec every day or something like I'm not taking medicine for it anymore.
yeah.
But it felt like 2 weeks. I just felt like absolute shit.
Okay, remind me real quick. Did you want to do your story tonight too?
Well, I was going to, but it's too close to yours.
Really?
It's not it, but the way that I structured it is it's about two celebrity stalkings in LA, both in LA. But the problem is the way I structured it, like I went through like the different types of stalking that there are, like, and it wasn't like exactly the same, but it's close enough to where like, and that's like half of like what it is because the stories themselves aren't that long. But I do have another one that was like my backup, and it's so wildly different that I almost want to finish it and then do it
Okay.
instead. Anyway, it's hella close the way it's structured too.
You know, I even
I
said
mean,
to
like, honestly, like, when you did it, I don't know if you, like,
I saw
saw
your
my
face.
face, and I
Yeah,
was just like, "Oh my god, I'm not gonna be able to do this."
there was like a recognition. Yeah. I even said to Josh because this story was sort of atypical for me because I tend to do stories that I have to like dig deep for, like because I like to find stories that no one's ever heard of before, which sort of sucks because like on YouTube, which is where we sort of focus, it's really like a search driven engine, you know, and
Right.
people aren't searching for the stories that have that no one's ever heard of before. So this one was sort of off my usual. It's not like my wheelhouse because it's like
Right.
has a celebrity sort of slant to it.
Right.
So I even said to Josh, I was like, it would be crazy if we chose the same story
Mhm.
because I felt like this felt like an Amanda story to me,
Yeah.
and so I'm not surprised that yours was sort of similar.
Structured very similarly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, as soon as you did it, I was like, "Bitch
Well,
stole
shit.
my idea." Oh, it's fine though.
Yeah. And then hopefully we're back on track with recording. I know I'll be traveling next week for Thanksgiving,
Same.
or at the time of this episode, I am traveling right now. And you probably are as well. Where are you going?
Arkansas,
Okay.
just for 4 days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I think we did. Maybe we did talk about that a while back because I'll be in Oklahoma at the same time. It's like,
I
oh,
know.
it'll be so
It's so
close,
exci is so close.
yet so far away.
Very.
Yeah.
Especially after you've traveled.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's like I've already gotten here by plane. Of course, it can't be direct. Never a direct flight
Yeah.
to Little Rock ever. So like it's like you spend half your day getting there.
Maybe we should just both fly into Dallas, Fort Worth, and just not see our families. Let's just have Thanksgiving together.
Yeah. What if we flew through there and we both like have flights that got canceled in Dallas? Because I am going through Dallas actually.
Oh, really? And we
Mhm.
end up at the same wine bar, which is exactly what would happen.
I have a Centurion Lounge card
Hmm,
that I could
that's
get
better.
you in the lounge. Yeah. And then we can drink for free.
Oh, that's the best.
Yeah. And it's a sophisticated environment, so, there could be, I don't know, a 98-year-old gentleman who is near death and has no relatives that is spending Thanksgiving alone.
I love that that's like half of the memes you and I send each other are like about
I
people
know.
who marry like old, rich, dying men. It's aspirational.
It is. It is. You can do it too.
Yes. Oh God.
There is hope.
If I can't make the money myself, Josh has given me a look. We could do it too, Josh. We could both marry rich old men who will die and leave us money.
Yeah.
Because
Everyone wins.
yeah, he'll be on life support or like an oxygen tank.
It's okay. You can put up with that for a little bit.
Hmm.
I promise. Well,
Um,
should we end this one?
let's let's put this out of its misery, Amanda. Where can people do all the things?
We'll put a pin in it. I hate that. Like that like drives me crazy when someone says that in a work meeting. Let's put a pin in it.
Put it into a voodoo doll of you. You keep saying that.
Yeah. Bitch.
Bitch.
Oh, on the social spheres, no TikTok anymore,
No,
but Facebook, Instagram at the Forbidden Pod, YouTube, sorry, YouTube, Spotify, and Apple at the Forbidden Pod. Um, Ancient episodes on www.theforbiddenpod.com, and still waiting for those nudes. Now, this can be, we're in the holiday season, folks. It's time. Someone send a nude.
show us what's in Santa's sack.
Hello at theforbiddenpod.com.
Yes.
Well, Blake, thank you for a really interesting story. I like that one threw me for a loop because I did not expect it to go the way that it did. It
Yes.
was
Well,
very sad.
thank you for listening to my sad, sad story, and I'm so sorry that I've derailed your story.
It's okay. Mine will be even better.
There you go.
All right. Well, I guess I'll see you tomorrow.
All right.
Listeners, as always, we thank
Thank
you.
Let me make it bigger, as they say.